against Sivor, hanging out in the lobby with that heavy artillery.
What do you mean heavy artillery? It's bad.
Oh, it's probably just a click over.
We see
There he
Kleinke
goes.
lock in 4th Germanicus. Still, no, that's it. So you see scene on elephants. The peak comes through. That's 3 elephants, 4 Germanicuses. That just yells YOLO need to rush to me.
Yep. Absolutely. That is so much vengeance.
And Pelasgus is left for last. We maybe actually see him on cavalry instead of archers that he has been picking throughout this tournament so far.
Mm.
Oh, Gunslinger managed to sneak in bad news before me. I mean, we've talked about a possibility of a Peltasts team going for a surprise tactic, trying to throw the enemy off. And I think they managed to do it. Spanat so far has picked for his team a pretty standard composition he has been going with all the time so far. And we'll see what he decides to counter that quadruple Germanicus rush alongside with elephants. Definitely not with heavy artillery though. Although Sivor may be bringing, since he's hovering Caesar, maybe bringing another triple javelin, because those javelin would be perfect for countering those elephants and Germanicus. So I would bring Milty. What are you doing, Sasha?
Just for the call it my OCD. I just really like the idea of the two casters being on the bottom.
Okay. So yeah, what I would do on Spanets, I would bring either Milty Spears or Leo Spears work as well. That Shield Bash will definitely come useful. Fear as well to slow down enemy units. Both picks are very valid. Though in city setting, where you mainly block off choke points, Leonidas rather the better pick over Miltiades, especially as they will be defending, not rushing themselves. Sivorin bringing those javelin, as I said, they will be very, very important. Although not bringing 3 of them, just double plus 1 sword. They will need the front line as well to hold those Germanicus in place so that javelins can shoot them. And that leaves Spanats. If he brings those elephants, he does bring them to counter Sin's elephants. We may see an elephant duel. I think that's the first time in the tournament where we see both teams bringing elephants.
Actually, I think you're right.
Pelasgus is now switching to Roman cavalry. We see if he logs that in. Not at tier 9 though. So yeah, it is definitely a very, very much a yellow mid rush. Javelins are a valid pick as well. Especially now as they see Spanz's elephants locked in. They want additional javelins on their side as well. And Pelasgus can bring triple javelins easily because they'll have a lot of front line to stop any enemy incoming charges. And there's no cavalry to really threaten them as well. So
I mean, if they play their cards right, I feel like Team 1 might have a slight advantage here.
I mean, Pelasgus bringing those additional javelins actually brings purpose to Osaka's archers, which they really didn't have before. So I think it will be the case again of finding the right counters, avoiding your own counters, and outplaying the enemy by either outmaneuvering him or finding the right engagements.
Looks like we're all picked. Lock in and go.
Pelasgus needs to lock in, and we can go. Unless they're still thinking over those javelins. It is their last pick. So what Pelasgus picks here can change the entire dynamic of the team. Oh, it's a yellow mid rush anyway, but If he brings cavalry, for example, instead of javelins, that changes a lot. People in chat actually calling that Pele is going to pick jabs. Yeah, once Schwannis's elephants are locked in, it is a very reasonable thing to predict. And there we go, it is locked in. Maybe just buying consumables. Between the last discussions with his team captain on the tactic. Although, you just yell YOLO mid rush and do it. Okay, they should go any second now. They're asking me if I'm ready. There we go. Second battle is underway. Oh, we're loading into it. Lesbos Archers are winning, currently leading 1-0. Lesbos Archers are the team on the side of Beneventum. Neopolis is Royal Peltasts. Royal Peltasts have decided to bring a YOLO mid-rush composition. 5 javelins, 4 Germanicus, elephants, and Caesar to top it off. Oh, Caesar with also double javelins and 3 area actually. Meanwhile, on the other team, Lesbos Archers, running more meta composition with archers, 1 light artillery unit, and a well mixture of pikes, which will be also very important in this match. How the other team is going to deal with them, and how Lesbos Archers are going to protect them.
I've noticed consistently that these javelins tend to be accompanied by at least 1 infantry unit.
Especially against pikes, you need that infantry plus javelin combo. Germanicus is perfect for that, because once Caesar silences pikes that are inside find the shade, Germanicus is the best pick you can go for to charge those pikes and cut them down as soon as possible. Which can't really be achieved by Invitational, for example.
Epic defense is coming.
Capture their base or cut them down!
Immediately, Japan's team is falling back.
Well, they'll probably will be setting up a defense inside the city. That seems like a logical move for them, especially that YOLO mid-rush composition with a lot of Roman swordsmen.
And making that pike box.
Yeah, they need to fight in choke points. They are giving up the watchtower. They have light artillery, and archers, so they can definitely force the enemy to come to them. So where's the light artillery setup?
The enemy draws
Which already
first
drew
blood.
first blood. Which tells me they're there. And the Royal Peltasts team is already pinging that. So yeah, Lesbos Archers really want to fight in choke points so that Germanicus' mass doesn't really matter that much. We see huge push going actually through the plains, through the vineyards outside the city. That passage will be blocked by Tiberius pikes, but they all need to defend them really well.
Some furious pinging going on.
Seen positioning his archers on the other side, but he's being answered by Spandet's elephant as well, accompanied by 2 javelins of Story KC. and we already have a battle. Tiberius got silenced by Pelasgos. Bast is fighting him in vengeance, and Pelasgos is firing in with his javelins. So that unit will go down very, very quickly. Osaka is fighting volleys into Pelasgos as well in the meantime, though he's being hidden now inside of his studio. So he will be able to survive and tank this damage.
And it was providing him decent protection, but he did lose most of one entire unit.
Yeah, Story KC in the meantime is answering with the same, wrecking unit after unit on the other side, with his javelin roaming around and providing support everywhere it's needed. Now we see an elephant duel between Spanats and Sin. It's a 2v3. It seems like Sin is winning it heavily. Story KC is approaching there to provide that support, but it may be too late. Yeah, it's two elephants down on the side of Lesbos archers. And that brings balance of power more even, but those elephants now will be stalled by light artillery and javelins. We'll see how they'll do with them. On the other side, Royal Peltasts have managed to secure a beachhead, if you can call it that way, inside the city. And there's another push going on through the next entrance next to the base. Elephants are there to support, but the OTL is there with his double javelin, so those elephants won't have the best time really there. There's just to chase off and slow them down. Osaka is there as well, able to shoot down Dot if he wants to shoot Spanats, so it's an equal trade, although he's running away.
Finishing off these elephants.
Yeah, Sin is down to one elephant as well. No, he still has two. One is almost dead though. Managing in the last seconds of his life.
Oh, that was a lot of damage actually. It seems necessary to tank that. Might be a micro issue.
Sin is still surviving, although one volley and he's down. Now the other last elephant can be dealt with. Spanats has managed to throw those javelin away, but this is one elephant versus two javelin units with a lot of support, so he's not really achieving anything there apart from delaying him, or delaying the enemy team. Jin is still waiting, throwing one unit after one unit to slow down the enemy as much as possible, allow that light artillery to throw in their damage, allow them to do their thing, same as Osaka, to minimize the friendly fire and maximize their own damage.
Just to meet LSR.
And Tiberius Maxim still with his
trying to get around. Is he going to be able to travel it?
Yeah, Russian Prince snuck through. Did he charge a wall?
It just grazed him.
Yeah, okay. The Alasar warrior will now have to chase him, but he is Leonidas. He doesn't have the chasing power. So Russian Prince is now in the middle of Lesbos Archer's formation. Osaka is there to help KC with his good friendly fire mean. Weak power coming as well, showing how important the javelins are to Lesbos Archer's team to save them. And this is being done, sacrificing one unit of javelins in order to kill that cavalry unit that will be very, very pesky and hard to deal with. Tiberius still holding that choke point with his phalanx. That's actually kind of amazing, but now he's fighting the shade. Yep, Russian Prince trying to find another charge, but this time weak power is already there to prevent him from doing so.
Now going back and trying to help possibly route those Tiberius spikes.
Russian Prince is trying to roam around and find those engagements, but he just cannot find a gap in Lesbos Archer's formation. Although we may see a nice push coming into Lesbos Archer's base. The left side of the city was also kind of won, so the match is still kind of equal, although we see an HP advantage on the side of Lesbos Archers. It's mainly on those archers that are now being surrounded, so it can still be turned around, and Russian Prince is still very healthy and roaming around hunting those archers as well as he can.
The enemy base will soon be ours!
But Asgos and Bast is still struggling with those one Tiberius spikes. He managed to get into Pike Phalanx again, despite being silenced. Russian Prince in the meantime pinning down Osaka and Javelin. Also Warrior to be slow on the reaction time.
Russian Prince trying to go for the artillery. That might not have worked out for him.
And now he's been trapped. Ooh, between all these range units. Melee units. But that opens another opening for him. He'll now go for javelins and unprotected light artillery. Those units are gone. Once he manages to find a charge, there he goes.
Yes. Hitting that wall, unfortunately.
And there's still a lot of HP on Osaka's archers. They need to do their damage, and they're definitely doing that. It's just a matter of who can kill the other team first, or melee units. It's only one weak pirate unit, that is quite healthy, but Royal Peltasts are also running out of HP on their melee units as well.
They really need to focus Prussian Prince to make sure that they don't lose that HP. And he's most likely to right now.
Those Osaka's archers are doing the difference right now.
Yeah, and he's red.
The melee battle is equal, but Lesbos Archer's side has a lot more support from the range units. Managing to stay alive thanks to our mobility provided by Arminius. So it may be not that bad of a pick. It's been working so far very, very well.
Whatever happened to that yellow mid-rush?
It was very yellow. Coming in from multiple angles, from two entrances, we can see the amount of dead people around those entrances, especially this one in the middle next to the base. And also a lot of fights around plaza area. Well, these fights were spread out mostly. That was the push they actually won. But yeah, there's a lot of back and forth fights for all these choke points, all these entrances to the city and the base area. But in the end, Lesbos Archers managed to defend against that Yellow Mid-Rush strategy. And I guess I need to Yellow Mid-Rush myself now.
Yep, we're gonna have to leave. Again, Osaka with that 3k session.
Yeah, those archers were protected very, very well by the team. Giving them time to ramp up their damage and provide more than worth of themselves as well. Light artillery also very good, but in that rush setting it wasn't allowed to shine as much.
Our men are under attack!
Actually didn't damage for a... Never mind, yeah. But I've seen really nice coordination. I mentioned that good friendly fire thing that they were doing. Jenny was throwing one unit after the other into that fight in choke points, which allowed Osaka and a Wicked Pirate with his artillery to get their damage done. Otherwise, if he would throw everything in, which
the enemy base
most people would do, he would block the ranged units' shots coming in there.
Yep. How about leaving this one so we can keep going? We still have a number of battles to go.
Fine. About the ninja guy. Okay, I believe they're already setting up another lobby, or they're not. Okay, let me fix the overlay. It's 2-0 to Lesbos Archers right now, and they'll be back on the blue side. And the map is... let me check. The map will be Germania right now. So this is a map we haven't seen in this tournament yet. And if it isn't a 4-0, we'll also see Gergovia and possibly Alpis Grai if it comes to the 7th battle.